So we've been playing Transformers, the Robo Rally game, and we'll give you a quick preview here of what you can expect if you decide to get this game. So why don't we begin with theme? How did you feel about the Transformers theme? Now you had some Transformers as a kid, I take it?
Of course, of course.
And when you're playing the board game, do you feel the theme?
Well, I don't know if I feel specifically the Transformers theme, but programming lends itself to that sort of robotic engineering computer sort of mode. So I can see how this fits. Being able to convert from bot mode to alt mode, I guess that brings in the Transformers sort of idea to it. And the miniatures looking like our favorite Transformers, maybe that brings us in a little bit. But for the most part, this feels to me like a programming game.
Absolutely. So I feel like the main flavor of the game comes from these upgrade cards. Now each character has 3 of their own specific upgrades.
Okay.
So that gives them their flavor. So you're a blast 'em up kind of guy. I'm a rock solid. It's hard to move me around because I'm a big transport rig. Right. So to me, I like that those elements play into that. But there isn't much beyond that. If you're looking for a ton of transformery content, probably not here.
Right.
But if you're looking for just a light theme that doesn't take over the game, then I think that's where this one lands.
And it doesn't detract from the game at all.
No, it doesn't at all, for sure. It is kind of fun. I can pull this out with my kids and be like, hey, Transformers, this will be fun.
That's right.
So, very good. We should talk about the mechanism of the game because this game is almost entirely mechanism based. So how does the programming work?
Well, you have registers and you're going to place your cards from your hand. So you only have a limited choice for just whatever are the 9 cards in your hand.
That's right.
And then you're going to try to order them in your register in some meaningful way to achieve the goal of getting to the different checkpoints or blasting your opponent or doing whatever it is you're trying to do. I like the fact that it's small, bite-sized chunks of code that you're trying to write, execute, and then you do it all over again.
And there's essentially 3 variables that play into your moves. So the number 1 is what your opponent does. So if they bump you off track, then it throws your whole program askew. Number 2, we've got board elements that you may forget that you're in, say, bot mode or alt mode, and then the feature doesn't interact the way you thought it would. And finally, we have cards that are coming out if you're the damage cards,
right,
which might slow your movement, it might bump your program, or it might just wreak havoc on your plans.
You had a few of those that wreaked havoc on your plans, for sure.
For sure, tons of chaos, and I would say it's a very fast playing game, so once you get flipping your cards, it goes really quickly.
Right, and you could, well, we only played it 2-player here in our playthrough. I've played it with 4, 5, 6 players, and then it's, you know your program isn't going to execute the way you wanted it to.
And you have to account for that and actually plan on, okay, when it goes wrong,
that's right.
I want to set myself up to not be in a horrible position.
Well, Megatron actually had a rule breaker special ability where during the turn I could actually change my registers.
Oh, that's cool.
So if something had come up, I would be able to, sort of like he's the mastermind, right?
Right.
So.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's your mechanism. Let's also talk about comparisons to other games. Now, one that I'm reminded of is Robot Turtles. It was the first programming game I ever played. It was a really kid-friendly, introductory, you program out your moves and you try to direct your turtle to gather certain objectives. So pretty simple. This one would be a step up from that one. But and you've played original Robo Rally.
Original Robo Rally, I think, is also maybe half step up from this with complexity with the different initiatives. There's also a game called River Dragons that I used to play quite a bit. It has sort of a physical building you're actually putting together with your program. But anytime you have a game where you have registers, it's usually 5 registers, not always, but usually 5 registers, hand of cards, dealing them out.
And for our 4th category, I'd like to show you some of the components and, of course, the aesthetics you can see.
These components remind me very much of earlier editions of Robo Rally, so if you're familiar to that, you're going to be familiar with the cardboard weights, the sort of the size of the components and stuff like that. The player boards are a thin paper, but work perfectly well. They just need to be a mat, and in fact, you probably don't want to have a thick piece of cardboard there. That would just be a waste. Cards are nice and light, easy to shuffle, not too rigid in the hand. In general, the components work well for the type of game it is. Don't overstay their welcome, but are also nice enough that you can sort of enjoy the game.
That's right. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're super deluxeified, and that helps to keep the price of the game down.
Right.
This is probably a game that'll take a bit of wear and tear if you're playing with kids.
Right.
So that would be one thing that we might want to watch out for. Also, we don't have the recessed boxes for these to fit in, but I don't think it's that big of a deal if you bump your cube. You basically know where your energon is at.
It's not that serious, heavy Euro where a move of one cube suddenly you're like
changes the whole dynamic of the game.
Exactly.
Absolutely,
Like,
it's
Terra Mystica sort of thing. You change one thing and
for sure.
Yeah,
so it keeps it pretty smooth that way. Yeah, overall, I would say, I mean, the artwork is fine. At first, there's a little bit of, oh, I didn't notice that wall, or, oh, how does this corner piece, how do you interact with that? Is it a treadmill that moves me along, or do I have to walk out of there,
But I would say that's part of the Robo Rally flavor. Robo Rally, the original version, had the exact same thing.
That's right, where you want things to go wrong.
Yeah. Well, there was a time you were preparing to walk through a wall.
That's right.
And I was like, I
Tip me
don't
off.
think that's going to work the way you think it's going to.
Absolutely. So this will be a game that you want to undo your move just about every turn. So you have to resist that.
That's right. That's right.
Fantastic. So our final category, who do you think this game would be best played with? What do you like about the game? What do you not like about the game? Let's just give our overall thoughts here.
Well, you're going to have your Saturday morning cartoons. You're going to pull out your G.I. Joe Assault in the Winter Circle, or what was it? The Arctic Circle.
That's right, Battle for the Arctic Circle.
Battle for the Arctic Circle. That's your G.I. Joe, and then you're going to go into Transformers right afterwards. And so if you're, if you want to have that nostalgia of, Saturday morning cartoons, you definitely can do it now in board game form.
Absolutely. I would say there's two distinct audiences for this. One would be kids, where you can just have some fun, learn some programming, bump around the board. It's easy to learn. You can teach on the fly. So that would be one crowd. The second crowd would be maybe the late night bunch of guys drinking, everybody's goofing around, and it's going to be utter chaos, especially if people don't know what they're doing. And so I think it would be fun. It's not a Ameritrash game in that sense, but it's just fun, light, and you don't have a lot invested in the game, and it's over really quickly.
It's a beer and pretzels game. It's sort of
Big
a
time.
filler, something you can just do while you're enjoying some time with some friends.
Well, thank you for joining me for this quick review. Let us know your thoughts if you played this or other Robo Rally games. And in the meantime, get out there,
Get gaming,
and be legendary.